The reason why we need infrastructure, their car breaks down or it's in the shop or something, they need something, to other than a car to get around. And I found a device that can do that. There's a person I was speaking to earlier. I have his business card, so we'll keep in touch. There's talks about going on, I think it was for the 17th, so hopefully I'll be able to make it that week. But the transportation of choice that I use is called an electric unicycle, also known as an EUC. So these devices right here, I don't know, I'll show you real quick. This right here is one of the best places, or the best devices, I think, in my opinion, to get around in the inner city. But the problem is, multiple times when I wanted to get to my job and all that, I had cars honk behind me. I had cars nearly sideswipe me. Even though I was following the rules of the road, because this is technically also a vehicle, I'll be riding on the right hand side of the road sometime, well, no, all the time, and I'll be going through Edgemore, south on Edgemore, where the speed limit is posted at 30 miles an hour. I have, not all the time, but then I have cars just like, I don't know why they do this, but they just either want to get way too close to you, or they honk at you, or they just speed up and nearly like hit you. And that's the reason why we need protected bike lanes. I'm sorry, but we do. If we have something similar, we're not saying we're trying to be in Amsterdam here, because we live in Wichita, and all the infrastructure is also, it's already been ingrained for the vehicle of a car or a truck. What we're saying is we want a place where we can safely, or anybody besides an EUC or an electric unicycle, to travel safely on like a beautiful Sunday like this is. Or, like the scenarios I just said before, if your car breaks down or something, you just fall down on hard times, you don't have any other place or other way to get around. That's another reason why we need PEVs. We could look at places on YouTube, infrastructures like Canada. There's also places in the US that have pretty good biking infrastructure, separate lanes, protected, painted, green, Also, the reason why I believe we need PEVs is because maintenance costs, especially for driving on the streets. If there's a I forgot, there's like a survey on Google, you can search it up. It tells you the weight of a car and how much road wear a car can do on the road. Since e-bikes, bicycles, e-scooters, other PEVs or personal transportations devices, they're less weight. That would mean less road wear, which would mean less costly inner city repairs to the roads, because now our cars that have, they're Teslas, the batteries weigh a lot. Most of them, or most PEVs now, not PEVs, but keep saying PEVs, electric cars or cars in general, the weight and the frequency of cars driving down the street, I don't know, but there's a calculation about that. You could search it up. it would save so much money on, people won't have to pay so many taxes on road repairs. We could, they could, we could save a whole lot of money doing that. Another reason why we need protected bike lanes is it'll encourage people to get outside more and exercise. I remember my mom and my parents and other people, older folks, I don't know the generation, I'm a millennial, pre-Gen Z, but they would tell me, "Oh, why do kids not go outside anymore? They don't do anything. They just sit around and they don't get outside. They're always watching YouTube and playing video games and yeah." But we have built infrastructure all for the car. If you want to go to the movies, you have to take a car. If you want to go to the park, if you live a certain amount of way, there's no proper, protected infrastructure that allows you to, ride your bike to the park if you want to. Or let's say you want to do any other activity. Most activities, it requires you to have a car. Most and everything, the first thing you do, and what's the thing people talk about? Oh man, I need my car to get to work. Oh, I need my car this, I need my car that. Yes, there's reasons for a car. You need a car to, let's say you want to go out of state. You want to, you want to travel. You want to go out, I can see a use for a car for then. But if, like for commuting in the inner city, like there are now the year of 2023, even probably, the years after 2023, whatever comes out, there's gonna be new technology out that's gonna allow you to get around, and especially in the inner city, and you won't need a car. If we, don't need a car to get around, it'll encourage, more healthy lifestyle. Literally, like me just buying an EUC, it's encouraged me to get outside more. And now, in my free time, when it's like less hot, I go on jogs because it encourages me to get my cardio up. I'm still have that couch potato personality, but it's still like, even on a Sunday, it's encouraged me to get outside more. I wish I had an interview with this one guy, but I might talk to him in the future. But we had a nice conversation about we need more personal electric vehicles and its infrastructure. We need more protected infrastructure for bicyclists and bike lanes. Also, we need to improve the sidewalks. Most of the time, sometimes I ride my EUC on the sidewalks. I know they say they're not supposed to, but if you ever seen most of these car drivers out here, they're crazy. Not all of them. Some of them are nice. Most of them are so in a hurry that most times they can be, they're like, oh no, I'm late for work. There's a math calculation out there that you can easily do. It'll tell you how many minutes it'll take you to get to your job. But most people don't know that. I guess it's because people are too busy and in a hurry, Also, another thing that annoys me is we're not trying to we're not trying to stop your way of life. We're trying to improve people's ways of life. I have a car. Obviously. I can show you my keys. This one. Okay. Keys. I have a car. Obviously. But literally for anybody who wants to get around, they can. Well, I can. PEVs are the way. We just don't have the proper infrastructure. There are some places that I can take my EUC that's just perfect, nice and flat, like the Redbud Trail. Perfect. Some other, some roadways, Edgemoor's pretty decent. I mean, I wish they would have like, they could work on the roads a bit more, but the weight of the vehicles and the frequency of people going back and forth, that's coming out of our taxes, because now it's like, oh, look, we got more road repairs, and then it causes more traffic, it causes more congestion, it causes more other issues. If we had better infrastructure, we could save a little bit of money. We could put money into other things, you know? But it encourages folks to get outside more. It makes people like a lot less antisocial. People are so in their feelings, like, yeah, the car's been around for 100 years, but it served its purpose. It, you know, got people around. It still does serve the purpose, you know, for logistical purposes, like, you know, for, you know, people who, like truck drivers, they need a truck, they need a big thing to haul all the cargo for, you know, food and other goods, so we can eat, and so we can buy the necessary necessities if we need them. So we're not saying we're trying to ban cars here. We just want a more efficient way, if we so choose, the freedom to choose, if the scenarios already pointed out earlier and mentioned that if you're not screwed if you don't have a car. That's what we're saying. So yeah, that's why I bought my electric unicycle. I save money on gasoline. There's no car insurance involved. I mean, the weight, it doesn't weigh as much. I can take it inside the store if I need something quick. Like, let's say I want to get like a Freezy Pop, or an ice cream cone, or maybe a Gatorade, just something small. Yeah, I don't need my car to do that, no. There's also other services now that, I mean, I don't know, like, I'm not trying to get rid of the cars, but most of the services now that's being offered, I don't know, but the personal car is also becoming more and less unaffordable for folks. And that's also another reason why we should have PEV, proper biking infrastructure. So we just need, instead of folks being narrow-minded, we need options, technically. If we don't have options, how is life for those who are less fortunate how is it gonna work out for them? I feel like if we have PEV infrastructure, it would lessen the worry of folks worrying about how to get to work. That's what the majority of people talk about. How am I going to get to work? How am I going to feed myself? How am I going to get water? You know, how am I going to sustain myself? How am I going to do this, that? There's delivery services like DoorDash. There's also delivery services like Dillon's that can deliver your groceries. There's Lyft. If you need to, like, it's like, you know what Lyft is, or Uber. We got that now. So I just want this. I just want PEV infrastructure, so it's safe for me and other folks that can get around. Also, why we need PEV infrastructure is we don't have to take people, like, I'm an uncle, and I remember when my sister, she would say, oh, I gotta take my son to soccer practice. I have to get off work, leave early, do this, do that, hop in my car, go around this side. If there's proper protected infrastructure and your kid's old enough to, they know how to navigate, you taught them the roadways, you taught them where to go to and fro. If we had the infrastructure, you could worry about your job, you can worry about work. You obviously have a cell phone. You can call them, check up on them, making sure that they're okay. Let them know where you're at, But they can walk, cycle. There's some other, PEVs or, modes of transportation. And if there's a protected place where they can safely do so, they can do so. And then you don't have to worry about picking them up from, practice or doing this, that, and the third. So, that's another reason why we need it. It saves parents a headache of, an extra expense trying to shuttle their children around. Also, another thing, why we need protected bike infrastructure is big vehicles, lifted trucks. We're not saying that lifted trucks aren't needed, but and that's also another reason why I ride my EUC is because I can stand. Lifted trucks, they're so high up, they don't see anything, they don't see nothing below you at all. Like, if a kid runs across the street, that lifted truck is gonna just mow them over. That's why I ride my EUC. I'm like 6'3". If I stand on my wheel, I think I'm a little bit higher. I'm about 6'8", 6'5". And the lifted trucks, most of them, they're lifted up pretty high. Like maybe the furthest that they can see up is probably like 6 feet up or higher. That's why another reason why I ride my EUC. And also that's another reason why we need protected bike lane infrastructure, is so we don't have to worry about getting mauled over by big lifted trucks. And also that's another, they weigh a lot as well. So the more weight you add on the road, the more cars go back and forth, the more road wear it's going to cause, the more detours people are going to have to make, the more congested traffic's going to get. And also, if you do make more PEV infrastructure, it would lessen the amount of traffic, because there's this term called induced demand, which means if the infrastructure is present, people will use it. So if there's more infrastructure that allows people to get around, then people are going to be like, oh, maybe it might be a little bit quicker if I use this thing of infrastructure to get it, to get around. So, yeah, I already did do the poll. There was a survey I found. It was on my phone, but it's called www.wichitabicycleplan.com/get-involved. That's the survey. I filled out the survey when I was on my break at work, and I filled it out. I hopefully the guy who I was speaking with, I thought I was the only electric unicycle rider, but I was surprised. He said he's been riding for 3 years, and I've been riding since, I got my first EUC called the King Song 14D last year in October. So technically, I've been riding for about maybe 8 months, so less than a year than the other guy has. But yeah, we just need more infrastructure, more protected bike lanes. I'm telling you. And also we need more activities around PEVs, or any, it would make Wichita a little less boring, because most days I'm kind of tired of sitting at home, twiddling my thumbs. Ah man, I gotta catch up on this YouTube video, or I wonder when the show's gonna come on, or there's nothing to do. Well, there isn't really much to do because everything's been so spaced out. There's nothing to do within the inner city, and to get to the inner city you need what? A car. So that's why we need protected biking infrastructure. That's all I wanted to say. You'll see me around. I'm gonna do some more vlogging and all this. I'm gonna go home, and since it's Labor Day, I'm gonna go home, or I might go on a longer ride, enjoy my Sunday, and edit this video and hopefully post out pretty well. That's all I wanted to say for today, so I'll talk to you guys later.